Welcome to Just Ask Spirit. I'm Sherianna Boyle. I am your host, and I'm so happy that you are here. You are going to love today. Today is going to be our astrology update. We get a monthly astrology update here with our resident astrologist, Carmen Turner-Schott. And she is here. She's going to be telling you everything you need to know about March 2023. I just want to remind everyone that all of the shows on Just Ask Spirit are sponsored by the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace. That is a collection of authors and businesses which have their products featured there, their books and their services. And in return, they support the show. So I just want to say thank you to all of the sponsors. I hope that you'll head over to Just Ask Spirit Marketplace and you'll see all the author books and some discounts as well as some of my goods and services. In addition, if you are thinking about a getaway, if you're wondering about time for yourself, and perhaps you don't get a lot of time off, then why not a weekend getaway? I'm going to be at Kripalu Yoga and Health Center in June 2023. You can go to my website to look at retreats. And there I'm going to be presenting a weekend with my friend and author friend, Shannon Kaiser. We did it last year. It was so much fun. We had such great feedback that they asked us to come back. I'm also going to be at Omega Institute in September. I know it's a ways away, but if you're like me, I've got to plan my schedule because sometimes when I don't, I miss things. So I just wanted to catch you up to date on all of those opportunities for you there. So my friend Carmen is here. Let's talk about March and astrology. Hi, Carmen. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. So if you're new to the show, Carmen Turner-Schott is on our show once a month. It will be live the first Monday of every month, just so if you want to catch it right away. If you don't catch the lives, I believe it's Mondays and Saturdays it goes live. And then you get the replay. So then you have to go on demand, everyone, which would be the second week of every month you can catch. And it really getting lots of great feedback, Carmen, on how people really receiving wonderful guidance from your astrology updates. So tell us where we're at. We're just from February to March.
Yeah, March, the energy's definitely changed this month because we have a lot of Pisces energy affecting us. So, it started at the beginning of March. We're going to feel a shift in our thoughts. We're going to feel more imaginative, more dreamy, more spiritually focused, more mystical. We also might be tuning in more to our creative nature, our emotions. We can write more easily, write poetry, finish a book we've been writing, but we also might have trouble really getting motivated and really practically focused. We're going to be in our mind and imagination a lot with all these ideas because Mercury went into the sign Pisces, and Pisces is the mystic, the spiritual one. So how we think is now being affected by the sign Pisces. So it's a very spiritual time. So people that are spiritual, you're going to be able to meditate easier. You're going to be more focused on turning inward and your emotions and expressing how you feel and listening to music and telling people you love them. It's going to be a really mystical month with the planet of communication in Pisces, but it's also a time to be a little bit careful with illusions. So, maybe miscommunication, and not being able to really express what you really think and feel because you feel it so deeply this month of March. You might not be able to express it in words, but it's easier to write or send an email about how you feel to those you care about, or if there's an issue, with work. But you're going to be all about love, art, beauty, romance, all of these things. Finish a book if you're writing a book, finish that art project if you have a painting you're doing, or anything like that. It's a good time to do that, and to come up with your spiritual goals. What are some things you want to do, and work on yourself, in your spiritual path.
So what do you mean, Carmen? Just to get some clarification in this, and this all sounds lovely, and it's very helpful to know, because some people get really hard on themselves when they don't finish something, or they allow themselves not to complete that book or to complete that project. So what you're saying is you are going to go deep. Sounds like we're all going to get a little deeper, deeper in our emotions, deeper in our passions, deeper in our desires. What I want to ask you before you go on is what's the difference between a goal and a spiritual goal? Is there a difference?
Yes, because I feel like, the spiritual goals have to do with our inner self and our soul, which are harder they're not as tangible. Let me say that, whereas if we have a goal that we want to clean out our closet, and we want to clean our house, and we want to check off all of these to-do lists, it's not that's earthy energy. That's like a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy. It's more of a mystical, emotional, spiritual, deep Pisces energy. And so it's more in your imagination, in your mind, that you have these goals. So it might be hard to write them down, because they're not really tangible type goals. They're mystical. You know what I mean? Mystical, spiritual type goals. Could be, I'm going to be more peaceful this month. I'm going to take more deep breaths throughout the day, and breathe and meditate 5 minutes a day, and connect with my inner self. It's not going to be, I'm going to save money, or I'm going to, go on a trip. It's going to be more, elusive, kind of mystical.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a wonderful reminder. So here we are, March, everyone. What are your spiritual goals?
Yes.
Okay.
And people are going to dream more. Whenever I find, when Mercury, or even the full moon is in Pisces, and the moon is in Pisces, we dream really deeply. And so, journal, write down your dreams, keep your dream log during this month, because not only is Mercury in Pisces, the planet Saturn just moved into Pisces on March 7th. And that is a huge change. And Saturn will be here until May 24th, 2025. It's going to be in the sign Pisces. So we're going to be dealing with this Pisces energy. So what it's going to do is it's going to support all of our spiritual endeavors, and all of our spiritual work, our body, mind, spirit, any goals, anything we want to heal. This is going to be the time to do it. And we have a couple years. It's going to be, Saturn's going to be in Pisces. Saturn is a planet of karma, of discipline, of responsibility, of past lives, and all this energy. So moving into Pisces is a very big deal. It's been in Aquarius. And so it went from a very intellectual, innovative type sign to a very spiritual, mystical type sign. So it's going to feel a little bit like a weight lifted off, a little bit of a, less heavy. We've been feeling a little bit more heavy mentally, and everything. And it's going to be more imaginative. We're going to be able to connect with our imagination more. And, Saturn hasn't been in Pisces since 1996. It's been a long time. In 1996, I was in college. Yeah, I was a long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how long it's been. So this is a very big kind of the whole world. Yeah, the whole world's going to feel this. This is a very big transit, is what we call it. When a planet changes.
And you say it's about karma. So is there like a huge karma cleanse here? What do you think? I mean, since 1996, boy, do we need a karma cleanse.
Yes. I mean, to me, I love Pisces. And so this is kind of what I came up with on what the energy would be like. It's like we have to work on thinking and reflecting upon the past, turning inward, being introspective, and understanding and accepting ourselves. Because Saturn makes us hard on ourselves, but it's in Pisces. So we need to be easier on ourselves and more spiritual focused. And this is a time to be more compassionate with others and ourselves, because Pisces is the compassionate one, right? They're the mystic, the compassionate one. They feel people's pain. They're empathic. They're artistic, creative, sensitive, very sensitive. They like to help people. And so we're going to be feeling that raw emotion coming to the surface, though, that we're going to be connecting with people's pain. So we're going to feel other people's emotions more easily. Everyone will. We're going to notice when people
That's
are
wonderful,
yeah.
honestly, because I believe that, and you believe, I know too,
Yeah.
that a feeling is the answer.
Yes.
It's not doing,
No,
right? It's
exactly.
over, folks.
Yes. This is about feeling, exactly. And allow yourself to feel these emotions from the past that are coming up with this Saturn and Pisces. We got a couple years that we're going to be feeling this, and I'm excited because I feel like it's going to be a lot easier for me. And because Saturn and Aquarius was a little bit harder, I think, for everyone, because they were really getting caught in, they were detached. They felt aloof or detached from their emotions and more in their head, and they couldn't help that because Saturn was in Aquarius. Now it's in Pisces, which is going to help us. It's going to help us so much feel and connect. It's a water sign.
So you're saying we actually get assistance from the shift in this energy, which ought to give people comfort. So it's not like, oh, you're going to get bombarded with feeling and you're going to get slammed and it's going to, right? It's different because of the way that this is all orchestrated. Interesting.
Yeah, what you said was perfect. We're going to be assisted. Exactly. And the only caution with Pisces energy is that we need to learn to have boundaries. Pisces are the two fish flapping out in the water. They don't have protection like the other two water signs. Scorpio has the sting that can kill, right? And Cancer has the shell it puts on to protect its soft, intuitive, and mystical nature. So Pisces always have to learn to self-care and to learn to say no and have boundaries. And so it's a time to have spiritual boundaries. And we're going to see this in the world. We're going to see.
Right, now you got to define that, Carmen.
Okay.
So what is the difference between a boundary and a spiritual boundary?
Yes.
A physical boundary would be, I need time apart.
Yeah. I need some alone time. I need some alone time.
And then we have the spiritual boundaries, which I totally get, but let's explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, like a normal boundary would be like, I'm tired and I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to go ahead and turn down this invite to go to this party. That's like a practical thing to do. Or if you have a friend that's always calling you with their problems and they're always taking, and you're always giving, you're going to need to step back and say, wait a minute, I need to maybe not answer that phone call when it comes on Sunday because I need a break. That's
or not having a discussion around a topic. I have someone in my life where we were talking about the same thing and they have their lens and I have my lens. And finally it was like, you know what, maybe this is not the topic that we ought to keep digging into.
Yes.
You have your lens and you're not wrong or bad, right? I have my lens, and sometimes it's a trigger, and so I was getting a little triggered. I was like, I think we just need to leave this topic off the table. You're a grown adult. I'm a grown adult. You do your thing. And that's a boundary, right?
Yes. It's like, they always say, don't talk about politics or religion, right? Because that can be a time where people have to learn to have that boundary. Let's just agree to disagree, and and I'm still your friend, but we're not going to agree. Let's talk about something else, right? That's having a boundary. And then spiritual boundaries are a little bit more elusive, and that's that Pisces energy, because to me a spiritual boundary is connected to energy. To me, it's an energy thing. Giving what you give your energy to, what you pour yourself into is the spiritual. So you want to pour yourself into positive, uplifting energy and be around positive, uplifting people. You want to surround yourself and try to change your thoughts and your emotions to be more positive. To me, that's what spiritual boundaries are, and not to get stuck in and pulled into negative energy. And if that means you need to be spending more time alone and not going out around, and spending time around people as much, that might be it. Or it might be, that you're going to eat right. You're going to meditate every day. You're going to do your yoga. You're going to do your Tai Chi. You're going to, do these things.
You're going to breathe. You're going to breathe.
To clear your energy. I've been doing that lately, just trying to every day do some breathing exercises and some cleansing out of the energies, because the energies get stuck in our chakras, and during this Saturn and Pisces, they're going to start opening up. And that's that spiritual energy of where we're going to be feeling things, which is a good thing. Just release it. Just let yourself release it.
Clear and release, clear and I almost sometimes think that spiritual boundaries are more important, honestly.
Yes.
Because otherwise you get all blocked up, right? And then that makes influences the decisions that you make, the way you look at things, the way you blah, 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 the way you communicate. So this is extremely helpful. So in March, everybody, you're hearing this, we need to tighten up. We need to really get clear on our spiritual goals.
Yeah.
And we also have to prioritize our spiritual boundaries.
Yes.
With energy. Okay.
And be more compassionate with others and yourself. It's kind of like this quote I saw that, this is how much you know about what's really going on with someone else's life. Because we only see, Facebook, all this stuff is surface. People, we don't know what's really going on with people, and people are really struggling sometimes, and we would never know it. And so it's like, be kind. I've been posting stuff about kindness, that, years of research, and the number one thing that really helps people is to be kind. You know what I mean? And that's Pisces. Saturn and Pisces is about being kind and being compassionate, understanding to other people and ourselves and our own self, because we get hard on ourselves, and then we have high expectations of other people. And that's kind of the energy of Saturn, is expectations, responsibility, all this stuff. And so one of the things, is that when you expect other people to treat you as you would treat them, it doesn't always happen. And that's okay, because not everyone's alike, but we can't let it hurt our feelings and discourage us, kind of thing. And that's kind of that Pisces learning lesson that we're all going to be feeling, and we're going to see it in the news. There's going to be, I think we're going to see more in the world about changes and maybe karmic things coming out about religions or different things. We're going to start seeing things on the news, and it's interesting. And then we have a full moon coming up on March 7th as well. The same day that Saturn goes into Pisces, we have a full moon in Virgo. And that Virgo, as we talked about during a full moon, we're going to feel a little bit more restless, a little bit of a heightened energy. We might, have insomnia. We might have a lot of energy to do things and get things done this full moon, because Virgo is the productive. Virgos like to work hard, get things done, analyze things, check things off their box. You're going to be like cleaning out the closet, getting that, editing a book, or helping a friend do something, and helping other people. So being a perfectionist, we're going to be more productive right now during this full moon. So we're going to get tasks and chores done and work done. We're going to feel like, whoo, we got some stuff done we've been putting off. And we're going to be focused on our diet and our health and our routine, and our self-care is going to be highlighted during this full moon. And it's a good time to reflect. And what have I been through, the past month, since the last full moon, what all has happened, and getting more organized. This is a good time to get more organized this month.
Which is perfect for spring. I mean, already in the spring, you're kind of thinking about cleaning out, turning over your clothes, getting rid of, cleaning up the yard, cleaning up the house, getting a fresh look. So it couldn't be a more perfect time that all of this is happening.
Exactly. And
so
then
we have a full moon on the 7th. Okay.
Yep, full moon. And then we have on March 20th, we have the sun that moves into Aries. So the sun has been also in Pisces. So that's what I was saying. We have a Pisces heavy month until the end of the month. So we have the Mercury in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, and then we have, the sun has been in Pisces, and now it's going to move into Aries, which is fire. So people that are born March 20 on, into April, they are sun sign Aries. So this Aries energy is like energy, drive, confidence, motivation, passion. We have this drive to be confident, brave, and a little bit impulsive energy going on. And we believe in ourselves, and we're thinking about, this is what I want, and I'm going to take action to do it. So we're going to be wanting to not just think about things, but take action towards the end of the month on all of these things we've been reflecting upon during the full moon, during the Mercury and Pisces and all this energy. We're going to want to act on our spiritual goals, on our spiritual, things that we've reflected upon. So it's going to be a positive energy. Aries, rules the spring. It's when things are blooming, when plants and flowers are growing, and it's a happy, light energy. Aries are, very passionate, very direct. We're going to feel a bit more blunt and speak our mind because, they say what they feel, they speak it.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be feeling that because the sun will be in Aries for at the end of March. And then we have a new moon in Aries on March 21st. And the new moon is when it's a time to think of new beginnings, think about those projects and things you want to work on and things to create change and move forward. It's a good time to use that moon in Aries energy is going to help us do that as well. This moon in Aries is like a double whammy Aries, right? Sun and moon.
I love it because it feels like when you talk about astrology, it feels like, again, that assistance. You're really letting us know what type of assistance will be available.
Yes.
Where would be the best areas for us to focus our attention? What, how that assistance and guidance where to channel that, right? And what you're saying is into projects, into feeling your feelings, into kindness, into compassion. So, I'm even thinking like if you have, I'm old fashioned. I don't know about you, but I still write in a appointment book.
Yeah, I have one too. I like to have, I don't want to just use my calendar on my phone. I do use that, but I have my little calendar. I get my astrological calendar and I write my appointments in there too.
Exactly. Yeah. I do both as well. But I'm just thinking this would be a great little message that you could write to yourself, everyone, for March. Take notes from this episode with Carmen. Also, just know that you can get her books. Right, yes. Carmen, tell everybody, what book would you encourage them this month to focus on in March? Which one of your 7 books is it?
Yeah.
On astrology?
I would say Sun Signs, Houses, and Healing. Build Resilience and Transform Your Life Through Astrology is a basic book that'll teach you everything you need to know how to pull up your own chart, how to understand each sun sign and their strengths, their weaknesses, how they're resilient, how they heal, how they find happiness. And I have a Moon Signs, Houses, and Healing, which is a purple cover. It's out on pre-order now, and it's the companion guide to the sun sign book. And that's your main personality is your sun, and the moon is your emotional nature. So those 2 books are beginners books. I recommend people start with those. And then if you get the sun signs book, it tells you in there how to calculate your own natal chart. And then there's ways that you can do a transit chart. And that is a good way to know where the full moon in Aries, for instance, new moon in Aries, full moon in Virgo, what area of life it's going to affect you based on your birth chart. So that's what we also look at. The transits are affecting everyone. We know that they're in these planets are in these signs, but then we can get more specific and look, and you can pull your chart up and say, okay, the full moon is sitting in my 4th house of home and family, which is going to make you be more of a homebody and want to stay home and be cozy. And, or it could be in career where you're going to be, or travel, you may be traveling and have a need to travel. So we look at where the transits are affecting each area of your life as well. And it's important to know that because we got some big, 2 major transits that happen at the end of March.
Well, hold on before you tell us the end, Carmen, because we do need to take a quick break, everyone. We need to go to commercial break. But if you like, you can always go to sheriannaboyle.com. I have the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace there. You click Marketplace and there are her books right there. You can, of course, go directly to carmenturner-schott.com, grab those books. And just so you know, audience, when you buy books and you leave reviews, it's like your way of saying thank you for this information, because I'm sure, Carmen does have to pull this together for us. It's not like somebody gives her a script. She has to study. She has to put these reports together. And so it's always nice to say thank you and support all their hard work. We're taking a break. We'll be right back to talk about the end of the month. And I do have a question for Carmen, so hang in there. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. Carmen Turner-Schott is here giving us our March astrology update. We're at the end of the month now. So, Carmen, you sounded like you were given a shift here. Where are we heading?
Well, there's a major change that'll affect the whole world. It's March 23rd. The planet Pluto enters the sign Aquarius, which we've been waiting for this for several years. This is a big deal because Pluto has been in Capricorn for over a decade. Okay.
Wow.
And this is a very important transit that will affect the whole world, and you'll see it, and it's gonna move the planet of transformation, rebirth, change, death, intensity. Pluto has a ability to shake things up. So what's going to happen is we've been living in the old way. Okay, Capricorn is traditional. Aquarius is non-traditional. So there's going to be shakeups in the world with technology, with how we do business, with how we live, with how we survive. We can't do what we've used to do, the old way of doing things. We have to be innovative, and Pluto's going to force change on the whole world, how we travel, how we work, how we go to war, how we fight wars. I mean, all of this stuff is going to change with Pluto, the planet of nuclear power, right, is in the sign of Aquarius. And this is big. And it stays in there and shakes things up a little bit. And then it goes back into Capricorn. And then it goes back into Aquarius in the fall, and where it stays for many, many years. So it's going to be, it kind of shifts a little bit through, but let's see. I tell you, March 23rd, Pluto goes in Aquarius. Watch the news, pay attention that day before that week, because there'll probably be a lot of things happen in the world.
You think like emails are going down and things like that? You think there's going to be internet interruptions, stuff like that?
It could be anything with technology,
Okay.
anything with innovation, anything with air, with flying. If you notice, we shot 3 objects out of the sky over the United States.
I was just thinking when you yes.
So,
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
What are they? Now, some of these objects, this is all Aquarius: time travel, space travel, other universes. Aquarius rules astrology. So everything that's scientific and, traveling to Mars, all of this is the kind of transformation and change that's going to affect our whole world, the whole world. And so this is a very big transit.
So again, when you say affect our world, you're talking about assistance. That's the way I'm interpreting this today.
Yes.
The energy shifting, it's going to assist us into a new way of functioning, because the old ways are not working. Yes. And it might mess things, like anything. When you're building something new, it might look like a mess for a little while.
Yeah.
Right. Am I getting that correct?
You are in kind of a thing that's interesting. It's like Capricorn is about tradition. They're about doing things how they've always been done, because that makes sense. And they're practical, they're realists. Aquarians are non-traditional. They're focused on doing things out of the box, doing things different than we've ever done them before. And so we're going to see these innovations in society, in the world. We're going to see innovations with our spiritual stuff too, and our computers, or how we work, and our emotions. So we're going to be more focused on moving towards the future and not be so stuck in the past. That's going to be the energy of Aquarius.
Oh, amen to that.
Yeah, your Aquarius is good because it's ruled by Uranus. The planet Uranus rules Aquarius, which is the planet of unexpected change, but also growth. So if you're not growing, Aquarius people, the planet Uranus, they force us to look at what is outdated and what do we need to let go of and change, so we can grow as a person, mind, body, spirit, and become, stronger and more productive and everything. So it's kind of like, the song, The Age of Aquarius. So a lot of people talk about, are we in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of when, a lot of religions believe, there's an ascension, the return of Christ, all these things have to do with that, because Jesus told the disciples, they asked him, how will we know when you'll return? He said, there'll be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And then he said, follow the man with the alabaster jar in the house that he dwells. Well, he said this to the disciples. The Aquarius is the man holding the alabaster jar in astrology. This is the age of Aquarius that Jesus Christ warned us about.
Have you noticed more people are turning to prayer now? I mean, I have. It's funny you say this, Carmen, because I was watching television the other night and a commercial came on and it was some kind of a prayer app or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was some celebrities that were behind the app that I thought, oh, this is really interesting because usually, prayer can be a weird thing. People are that might not back it up, and it was somebody I didn't really expect, and I thought, this is really great stuff. Like seeing
Yeah.
people coming. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Are you noticing people are going back to
Yes.
prayer? Because I know a lot of people got turned off by religion, right? Including myself. I took a
Yes.
big old hiatus from traditional. I've always
Yeah,
been very
totally.
spiritual,
Yeah.
but finding a new way. Are you noticing that? And is
Yeah.
this part of that, do you think?
I think yes, a lot of there's an interest in astrology. More people, more Christians, are interested in astrology. More people are starting to look at astrology as a tool that God created, that it's a part of the universe. So people are getting, to me, I think people are becoming more open-minded and they're questioning more. And people, certain people, I think some people are born different. We're born questioning. We kind of, you go against what we were raised, and we get a new path, and we're spiritual, right? We say we're spiritual because we're open-minded. The people that aren't open-minded are going to become more open-minded with this Pluto into Aquarius age, because they're going to notice things. They're going to have experiences. They're going to think differently because they're going to open up. And it's kind of an awakening is what they said is going to happen in the world, an awakening.
Well, what always drew me to you, and I know you've looked at our charts and, so everyone, before we started doing this on the show, of course, Carmen has to look at my chart to get this sitting on me before she commits, because it's a commitment to come on a show once a month and put all this together. So I'm like, I kind of knew it was coming. I'm like, okay, here's my birthday, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it was in my favor that we are meant to work together, right? But I think another reason I've always been drawn to you is we both have such a love of Jesus. And I bring this up because of this, what you're saying with I've had, like, for example, Energy in Action is all about the spiritual laws. And we both have, interestingly enough, we both have a book releasing the same week.
Yes, that is crazy.
Isn't that nuts? Yours is the moon sign book. Is it May 2nd is your launch date?
Yes. Yes.
We need to do something on May. How are we not having like a virtual party?
We should do like a virtual workshop or something. I don't know.
But just party, come on, everybody, and let's talk. But anyway,
we can take questions. Yeah, we'll just do a live.
What? I think we just birthed an idea. I think we're going to do that because I don't have any plans March 2nd. Yeah. Energy in Action comes out that day. I mean, there is no accident, Carmen. But the point is, I was corresponding with someone through email. They run a very successful podcast.
Yeah.
And it's Christian.
Yeah.
And they were like my stuff, but they were like, you're kind of new agey, and I don't think our listeners are going to be okay with that. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm the biggest lover of Jesus, but I also follow the spiritual laws. You look at astrology. And so is all this going to end now? Can we all just be united and under one big, beautiful?
Yes, this is what's going to happen with the age of Aquarius when Pluto stays in there. For good for a long time, we're going to have a spiritual awakening. The world will spiritually awaken. There's a lot of books and theories about it. The book of Revelation is about the spiritual. Edgar Cayce said it's about the soul awakening. That's what the book of Revelation is symbolic. And astrology is throughout the Bible. I have a little ebook called Astrology from a Christian Perspective that's on Amazon. I just self-published it. It's out there on Kindle.
You do?
Yeah. It's a series of articles I wrote.
What's it called?
It's Astrology from a Christian Perspective. That's my book.
All right. I'm going to get that. I'm going to buy that.
A lot of people like it, and it's real short. It's real sweet. I just wrote a series of articles for about.com years ago because they knew that I was a Christian astrologer and they didn't understand what that meant. And so I wrote these articles about my journey, with astrology, as being raised Christian, and I believe that astrology is throughout the Bible. It is part of Christianity, honestly, and the Catholic Church. It goes way back. There's a lot of information about it. I could teach a whole class on it, but I love it. And I have it out there. People said it helped them, because a lot of people reach out to me and that read the book and say, they were worried about studying astrology because they thought it was wrong, and they know it's not, because it's so helpful. It's a tool of self-awareness. It's like anything, we always want to put our, God first, in our life. But we have all these tools,
Amen.
meditation, yoga, energy work, right? All these things to help us heal. And I think just people take one or two verses out of certain religions, and they don't see all the other hidden symbols that are in the Bible.
And I, absolutely. And I don't know about you, but when I wrote Energy in Action, this writing about the spiritual laws brought me closer to God. And is that your experience with astrology? It brings you closer. It strengthens my relationship. It doesn't fracture it. And I think that's what people need to hear, that these tools strengthen that connection to God, Jesus, whatever it is that you believe, higher, creator. It will strengthen that relationship. So, okay, I'm looking forward to this awakening.
This is going to be an awakening, because, Aquarius is out of the box thinking. So people that are very have focused traditionally, very rigidly, they're going to have experiences are going to open up their mind and make them question and start pursuing and looking into astrology, looking into energy work. People are going to get more interested in the things that we do, Sherianna, because this is what's meant to be. This is why astrology is part of God's plan. It affects life on earth. It's all destined to happen. And so we're here for a reason, and we just have to understand the energies that are affecting us and help other people. And we're here to go through this spiritual awakening. There's a lot of books. I've been researching it for many years, and I always wondered what's going to happen. And I never thought there would be a day where we thought there might be UFOs shot down over the United States. But I was like, I knew this was going to happen. I thought it would happen when Pluto went into Aquarius. Honestly, that somebody would see something, it would be on the news, but the energy's already being felt. I mean,
I was just going to say, I feel like I'm already feeling it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they said
it's not like a light switch. I mean, it doesn't just turn on, bing, a new energy, right? It comes in gradually.
And air, these things are in the air. The radar wasn't picking them up, but then the radar did, and they didn't know what they were. They're calling them objects. They knew that I think one or two might be balloons, but they don't really know what the other ones were. And so this is Aquarius. So technology. It's higher technology. We just don't know whose technology it is. But if you saw, the president said on the news, it was not any other country. They know that. They know it's not another country doesn't own what they shot down. They're not sure what they are. So I think we're going to see some of this stuff with the air, travel, space, planes. This is going to be a big thing once Pluto goes into Aquarius.
Wow, you're really opening up our minds today.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it. I tell my mother this. I told her this for many years, that it's going to happen. And so I'm just waiting to see what we.
And when you say it's going to happen, you're saying the awakening. Yes. You're saying that we're going to realize that there's other
dimensions,
different worlds
that God created. Yeah,
God created.
We're just not on Earth, and all these other planets and solar systems are out there.
And a lot of those people that were called crazy, you're crazy, you see things, you're right? All of a sudden they won't be so crazy anymore, right?
Exactly, because it'll be common knowledge. When you awaken means that everybody sees it. It's not just certain people, it's the whole world is going to awaken.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to March. I mean, I don't want to rush it. I don't want to rush time.
These are the positive things with Pluto and Aquarius. Now, I'm not going to, there could be other things, with Pluto, because
I hear you.
It's intense. It's an intense time in the world right now.
So what do you have for recommendations with the intensity as we
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You
This is a
know, for
very
people,
emotional.
I mean, I hear the spiritual goals, I hear the spiritual boundaries, because I'm putting it all the pieces together now, Carmen, that you need those spiritual boundaries because there's going to be an intense energy. So don't
Yes.
be following everything,
Yes.
right? In terms of distractibility.
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest thing is be easy on yourself and be compassionate with yourself and others. And with, if you need, to withdraw, do so, because Mars also goes into Cancer on the 25th of March. It's been in Gemini. So as it's going to also be in a water sign. So we have a lot of Pisces energy. We have this Aries energy at the end of the month. And then we have this intense energy. And then again, some water Cancer, which is all about home, family, being comfortable, feeling safe, having security. And there's going to be less arguments,
So it's
less
okay. Oh,
conflict.
that's wonderful. And so it's
Yeah.
okay to take a day off, right? A
Yes.
personal day.
Solitude. You need to seek more solitude during this time because of the intense emotional water. There's a lot of water, a lot of Pisces energy affecting us, and that Pluto in Aquarius is a lot of people are going to like the feeling of Pluto in Aquarius, because Pluto in Capricorn is heavy, guys. Pluto in Aquarius is light. It's going to feel a lot better. You're going
Yeah.
to maybe feel better if you've been having health problems or feeling. A lot of people have been having health things come up lately since Pluto's been in Capricorn, and just stuck energy.
Yeah.
The energy is going to be easier, I think, to get in touch with emotionally and to release it, and to logically think about it, and not get so depressive or obsessed with things or rigid. You're going to be more open-minded with Aquarius Pluto, so that's good.
That's
Healing,
fabulous.
alternative healing. This is a time, if you
Yeah.
haven't been open-minded to it and you're a little bit scared of getting Reiki or any kind of energy work done, or any kind of alternative medicine, acupuncture, whatever it is, this is the time you may start seeking those alternative health treatments.
Oh,
Yeah.
a great tip for parents, right? If you're worried about your kids, I will tell you, I at school during school vacation, I took my youngest daughter. We went to a salt cave, right? If you know of a
Nice.
salt cave,
Yes.
they're around different areas of the world, and we
Yes.
just laid in the salt, meditated. It was lovely, right? And so there they had a salt inhaler.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's for
Okay.
people who have asthma or any kind of respiratory stuff, but it's
Wow.
all natural Himalayan salt. It's an
Yes.
actual inhaler. And I
Wow.
bought it for her. You know why I bought it for her? It forces her to take a really big inhale, and
Nice.
naturally you're going to get a bigger exhale.
Yes.
So it's like, do things like that, parents. Like,
Yeah.
like buy them things where it makes them take like
Yeah.
a really deep breath, or it makes,
Yes.
they enjoy. And it was like $35 to go to a salt cave with her. It's not going to break my bank,
No.
because I know not everybody can afford all of these things that cost money.
Yeah.
And you and I, we have stuff, or read a good book that
Yes.
doesn't cost a lot of money.
Right.
So thank you so much. Is there any final words that you want to say here? Do you feel like we got it at all? I mean, we've got quite a bit.
March is this month of March is a big month. Pluto and Aquarius and Mars going into Cancer, people have been waiting for that for a long time. So this is a good time. There's going to be more emotional connection. You're going to want to be more connected to your spiritual mission. You're going to question, why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? All of these things. Let yourself think these things, journal, write them down, or just let them come and let them go. But just listen to yourself. And I
We're
think
going deep. We're going deep.
We're going deep. And I think we're going to feel better towards the end of the month when we get out of this Pluto and Capricorn energy that's been very rigid and structured, and kind of because a Capricorn's all about responsibility and heavy burdens. Okay. And that's what the energies felt like, this heaviness, like a lot of karmic things, a lot of things have been happening in the past, past things that we haven't healed. Now Aquarius is like shaking it up.
Oh yeah,
Shaking
baby.
it up.
And
Yep.
we're going to get a big old cleanse. All right. Thank you so much, Carmen. And thank you so much, everybody. We're going to take one more quick break. I am going to come back and just close up the show. I do have a thought, some in terms of one little tip for you that came up. So I'm going to share with you when I get back. But thank you so much, Carmen. Make sure you go check out her book, Sun Signs and Moon Signs. Go to the Just Ask Spirit Marketplace on SheriannaBoyle.com. You can see my books there too. And and don't forget to leave a review. So I will be back after the break. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. So here's the part of the show where I just give a few insights before we close out the show. And there was a lot of wonderful information from Carmen, as usual. And I was thinking about the spiritual boundaries piece, and it reminded me of a couple of experiences that I had this week with people and realizing how we can cross that boundary. And I think it's with our thoughts, quite frankly. And one of the reasons I wrote Energy in Action is because I felt like some of the teachings around manifesting weren't really in line with what the spiritual laws are teaching us. And that's why that book has the spiritual laws as well as some manifesting cleanses in there. And one of the things that we have to be careful of is thinking that our thoughts, right, are going to work against us. It puts a lot of fear. So, for example, let's say you have a negative thought and you're like, oh, don't think that thought. Don't think that thought, because if I think that thought, something's going to happen. Right. And I want you to watch that, because what I've noticed from an energy perspective is it really can mess with your energy in not such a great way. So, when I think of a spiritual boundary, I'm thinking of don't give those thoughts so much attention, because when you do, then you get fearful. And when you get fearful, you shut down your energy. And it sounds like out of all the times, this is a really important month where you want to keep that energy in flow. So I hope that is of service to you. So appreciative to have you part of this Just Ask Spirit community. And remember, your emotions matter. Processing them matters more. Take care, everybody.